Hey guys, I'm Amit Kumar and in this video we are going to talk about Salesforce basics. So basically we will first see how the Salesforce have been evolved, what is the terminology of Salesforce and what is Salesforce architecture. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to stay updated with proper Salesforce tutorials and want to watch more tutorials, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Also, if you have thoughts or question, drop it in the comments. I would love to hear from you and promise I will read every single one. Thank you so much guys, and now you can proceed with the video. Now on March 8, 1999, Mark Benioff, Parker Harris, Frank Dominiguez and Dave Mollenhoff began working on the first version of the Salesforce CRM. Their base is a one-bedroom rented apartment in San Francisco. And by then, the existing CRM systems needed big investments for installation and implementation in terms of money and time. So by that time, when these guys were evolving the first version of Salesforce, if you need any CRM, you need to invest a lot for the infrastructure that you need to manage in your company for having a CRM. Now Salesforce produced an idea of SaaS, which is software as a service. Because of this, companies can use a CRM, basically Salesforce CRM, by just logging into a website. So prior to this, they need to install a specific software, they need to manage an infrastructure in their company just to have a CRM in their company. But Salesforce have been evolved as a website. So if they want a CRM on Salesforce, all that they need to have an account on the Salesforce website, and that's it. In 2000, Salesforce.com was launched and the UI that time was looking something like this. I know it's not that much beautiful as the Salesforce right now, but that was the beginning of Salesforce and this was the first picture, first view of the Salesforce website. In June 2004, CRM became public. In 2005, App Exchange was launched. So App Exchange, that is now available from where you can download any app in your Salesforce, was launched in 2005. And App Exchange helps to install third-party free or paid apps on your Salesforce itself. There are millions of apps available at App Exchange nowadays. Companies that create apps for App Exchange are known as ISV partners. So today there are companies who create apps only for App Exchange, and these companies are known as ISV partners. Now in 2006, Apex and Visualforce was launched. Apex, which is a strongly typed object-oriented language just like Java, and Visualforce, which is a tag-based markup like HTML. These two were launched in 2006. In 2012, Salesforce launched Marketing Cloud. In 2015, a new UI, a new user interface, which is nowadays known as Lightning Experience, was basically introduced. Now, it was not like the older UI, which is known as Salesforce Classic, was completely abandoned. Even till now, Salesforce provides you both the versions, both the UI versions. You can use Salesforce Classic or you can use Salesforce Lightning. But Salesforce Lightning came into picture in the year 2015. In 2016, Salesforce Einstein, which is AI technology, enhanced Salesforce products with machine learning and deep learning. This was basically launched in 2016. Even now Salesforce have evolved Einstein bots. We have Einstein bots available in Salesforce, and now even Einstein GPT was launched. But the story of all these was started in 2016 when Salesforce launched Salesforce Einstein. Salesforce created a 1-1-1 model for charity, which is basically a philanthropic model of Salesforce where 1% of technology, 1% of people and 1% of equity will be charity for the welfare of the society. Salesforce has grown to a $65 billion market with over 125,000 customers across the world. Salesforce has acquired 69 companies to date, which is even more now, and 7 of those acquisitions have come in 2020 only. Now the 10 biggest Salesforce acquisitions you can see over here is Slack, Tableau, MuleSoft, Demandware, ExactTarget, Click, Velocity, Crux, Quip, Buddy Media. I know you might have heard plenty of them, but all these have been acquired by Salesforce now. Now let's talk about Salesforce terminologies. Now in Salesforce we used to call apps. Now what are apps? App is actually set of objects, fields and other functionalities for business purpose. App launcher is used to switch between apps. So Salesforce basically introduces apps as a concept, and in Salesforce you can move from one app to another by using an app launcher. Soon I am going to take you to the Salesforce environment itself, Salesforce UI itself, where I will show you the app launcher. But through the app launcher you can move from one app to another. Each apps will provide you different tabs. Now each tab will be for various objects or some sort of pages that you create. Now each object is actually composed of different fields and records. Now in Salesforce we have objects, and you can relate objects just equivalent to tables in any database. So these tables in Salesforce database is actually known as objects, and there are different kind of information that you can store in these objects. Some of these objects are provided by Salesforce themselves and they are known as standard objects, and some of the objects that you can create in Salesforce are known as custom objects. Records are nothing but rows that you create in this table or that you create in these objects. It is actually the data associated with an object. Now you can have an object as account. That object will store different types of records, and each record will nothing but a business account related to your company, related to your organization. Now these business accounts will be nothing but the companies through which you are getting the business in your organization. Similarly, there can be object like contact, where you will store information about different types of contacts. Now individual contact will be nothing but a record. The next term that is related is fields, and if objects are a table, records are rows in the table, then fields are nothing but columns in the table. So if I'm talking about account can be an object and there can be different records in the account. Now each record will actually show you different type of information like account name, phone number of account, email of account, annual revenue of account and various other things. So these things will be nothing but fields or columns. Now right now you can see a image at front of you. Now here you can see there are 9 dots over here. This is nothing but app launcher. You can click on this app launcher and you can move from one app to another. Right now we are seeing sales app. Now all these are nothing but tabs. Now some of these tabs are representing objects, like opportunities is an object, leads is an object, tasks is an object, accounts is an object. And right now we are actually seeing one of the account, which is Burlington Textiles Corp of America. Now this account have various information like type, phone, website, account owner, account site. Now all these things are nothing but fields. So you can relate it to an Excel sheet. Now a specific spreadsheet in an Excel will be nothing but an object. Now each column over there will be nothing but a different field, and each row that we add over there will be nothing but a different record. Now let's talk about Salesforce architecture. Now Salesforce is used to deliver a highly customized experience to the customers, employees and partners without writing much code or without writing any code at all. Now it is possible because of the Salesforce architecture. Now if you see the Salesforce architecture, at the base level there is the Salesforce platform. Now Salesforce platform contains the CRM data, contains authentication, the various access model, the Lightning App Exchange and various other things. Now all these comes under the category of Salesforce platform. Now you can have any standard applications installed on these platforms or any custom applications that you have built installed on these platforms. The standard applications, like one of the standard application I have shown you in the previous slide itself, that was Sales app. So Sales app is nothing but a standard application. Similarly, you can have a service application, a marketing application. So you can use this application for performing some standard things that you want to attain. But if your business is dealing something else, you can definitely create your own custom objects and create your own custom apps that you can install or that you can have on your Salesforce platform. Now everything that Salesforce offers resides in the trusted multi-tenant cloud. Now Salesforce platform is powered by metadata and made up of different parts like data services, AI, robust APIs for development. Now all standard apps and custom apps sits on top of Salesforce platform, just I showed you like in the previous slide. Now everything in Salesforce is integrated together. Now you might be thinking, what is trusted and what is multi-tenant? Now trust is very important for Salesforce. Company stores their sensitive information, sensitive data and application on Salesforce platform. And that's why Salesforce provides you a site known as trust.salesforce.com. Now you can certainly use this specific site to know the performance data, how the Salesforce server, as a server, how the Salesforce is performing. You can also know in advance when the Salesforce is going to do some maintenance and when the server will not be available for you for your organizational tasks. And Salesforce makes it everything very crystal clear so that Salesforce can gain the trust of the organizations. It shows you planned maintenance and any kind of impact that can happen to your own Salesforce org. Now what do we mean by multi-tenant? Now multi-tenant basically means sharing resources. Now Salesforce have some core services which all the customers, regardless of the size of the company, can use. And because of that, you need not to install any new features, you need not to install any hardware, you need not to install any software, and you can use the Salesforce features directly by logging into the website. But because of that, Salesforce share plenty of resources between all the Salesforce orgs. And that's why it call it as multi-tenant. It is similar to any kind of apartment kind of structure, right? Now, if you go to any apartment, there are some dedicated space for you. Now that dedicated space, you have full authority over it. You can do as what sort of maintenance, what sort of customization you want to do. You can definitely do that in your dedicated space. But there are some shared resources for you. For example, power, water supply, building maintenance, as well as there can be parking, there can be gym, there can be swimming pool, there can be shopping complexes. So there can be plenty of things that will be shared among all the orgs. So similar to that, there can be different owners. Okay, Salesforce have or Salesforce provides different types of orgs. So any owner of an org have the right in their own space. They can do any kind of customization in their org. But there are plenty of shared resources like memory, like number of calls, number of services that can be called, number of outbound calls. So these things are shared among you. And therefore Salesforce maintains a limit over there. If Salesforce would not maintain a limit, anyone can overutilize any specific shared resource. So that's why Salesforce works in a trusted multi-tenant environment. Now there was one more term that I said over there is metadata. Now what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but data about data, information about information. Now metadata can be categorized into different types like standard configuration, custom configuration, functionality, code, everything is actually a metadata. But let me give you a normal example. So if I take example of an object with a record, so each record will be nothing but a data. For example, here account owner is Amit, rating is warm, account name is Burlington, phone number is 22270000. There is some parent account or there might not be. There is some fax number, there is an account number, there is a website. Now each information over here is data. But information about the data, like what that information is, whether it is an account number. So if it is an account number, whether it is a text, whether it is a number, whether it is a date, whether it is a currency. So information about the data, that information is nothing but a metadata. Now there are different categories of metadata. Right now I am giving you a very simple category, that is standard configuration or any kind of custom configuration. But even functionality that you implement over there, what sort of functionality that you are implementing or any sort of code that you are writing over there also comes under the category of metadata. APIs, another term that I have said over there, API is actually an abbreviation of application programming interface. Now API allow different pieces of software to connect to each other and exchange information. So you can have different pieces of software that can connect to each other and exchange information among them. This is nothing but different piece of software is nothing but different APIs. Okay, so any standard or custom feature or property created in Salesforce has unique name for itself. So anything that you create, whether it is a standard feature, whether it is a custom feature, whether it is a standard property, whether it is a custom property, anything that is created in Salesforce has a very unique name for itself. And this name is nothing but the API name. So with the help of this name, you can actually configure them, you can actually use them, you can actually customize them. Okay. So API name is one of the name which is going to be used when we are going to work with that property or that feature, and this name is unique throughout the org. That marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.